Hello, friends and knife nerds. Today, I want to show you my top 5 Miguron knives. So, first, we will start off with, and in no particular order, the Moyarl. And just so happens this is my favorite. This is the frame lock version. This is the crossbar lock edition. And I know they're re-releasing some different scales with the frame lock edition right now. And this knife is excellent. So, some of the stats. 3.25 inch 14C 28N flat ground stonewash finish blade. 7.6 inches when open. Very comfortable ergonomics. And the frame lock weighs 3.9 ounces, while the crossbar lock weighs 3.28 ounces. So you got about a 6-ounce difference there. It depends on what you're looking for here, folks. The frame lock feels slightly sturdier to me, but both are awesome. The crossbar lock edition is a little more fidget friendly at least, but all the specs are the same except for the weight. It's a lighter carry. So if you want something lighter, then the crossbar lock is going to be the way to go. Both editions come with a titanium pocket clip that is non-reversible on the crossbar lock, but is reversible on the frame lock. So it really depends what you're looking for here. There are slight variations. Your main method of deployment is going to be your blade hole. It's one of the reasons it's my favorite. The action is excellent. Very snappy on both. And it's the same here. I mean, I guess it sounds a little more hollow on the crossbar, but it's still super snappy. If I had to pick a favorite, it's real tough. I've kind of gone back and forth, and where I'm at right now, the frame lock is slightly preferred version, but this is definitely a little more fidget friendly. Both are excellent. So anyway, you're looking at about $50 for each of them here. Actually, it's $60, excuse me, for the crossbar lock. It's $10 more than the frame lock, which is $50. Let's move on to number 2. That is the Miguron Gatti. One of their newer releases, but it is awesome, folks. Micarta scales, this different pocket clip, different titanium pocket clip. That's his nice little touch there. He always puts a titanium pocket clip on an inexpensive knife and a really well-made knife. It's one of the things that gives you a lot more quality than you're really probably used to paying for from Miguron Knives. You really get a lot of bang for your buck here. So first of all, I do love the fact that it has a blade hole for deployment. I look for that, but it's a flipper as well, and a big old finger choil right there to choke up nicely on. Nice flat ground blade here, and that is 3.25 inches again, like the Moyarl 14C 28N. It is just a little bit shorter. It is 7.45 inches in length, top to bottom, from the Moyarl. So it's 15.15 inches smaller. That is not much. It weighs 3.45 ounces. It's really similar to the Moyarl except for the blade in weight and length. But the action is very smooth. The jimping on this thing is nice. Really grabs the finger very well. Action is sick. Really nice. Full lock up here. Not too heavy at 3.45 ounces. You're getting a lot of knife with a titanium pocket clip that is not reversible for your dollar. Let's move on to number 3. The Carricks. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Again, titanium pocket clip, non-reversible. This was their first iteration, first try at Micarta at Miguron, and I am not a big fan of their first shot, but I mean, it does the trick. It's just I think they're using paper Micarta, and I just don't like the way it came out. But the rest of the knife is excellent, in my opinion. It's a flipper, as you can see right here, and the action is awesome. Check that blade out. I love this thing. Sheep's foot, Wharncliffe, whatever you want to call this. I would consider a Wharncliffe because of the sharp point. You have definitely could pierce something with this. So with a sheep's foot, you shouldn't be able to pierce if you are moving forward with your knife. So some specs: 3.17 inch blade, 14C 28N again, flat grind, satin finish. It is 7.78 inches, so we're getting a little bigger here. And again, a nice big finger choil on this thing. Really comfortable ergonomics. And the action, very snappy. Again, I love when he puts a blade hole on these, and he does it frequently, so it makes it really fidgety for me. Really nice lockup right here. And just another excellent addition to the line of Miguron. Let's move on. Number 4, the Valona. I think this is probably on a lot of people's list. This is a big knife. This is the biggest one. This is the mama. 4.03 inches of drop point with a PVD coating. This thing is a big knife. Top to bottom, 9.09 inches. This thing is large. You can choke up really nicely on it. Big or small. I mean, you really aren't going to need to, I mean, of course, there's situations you will, but choke up on this thing. But I mean, it's just such a big knife. The hand fits everywhere on this thing. Really nice and smooth. The action is excellent. You have a flipper tab here, jumping along the top. Easy action, throws that blade right out. Decent lockup here. And it just makes an excellent large knife. So if, you know, like me, you're in the mood for a larger knife that day, this is an easy one to pick out. And G10 all around on this thing. And titanium pocket clip. That's his nice little, here you go. Something cool on a knife you wouldn't expect, priced like you wouldn't expect to see one of these. But again, great action and a big knife. You can deploy the nail nick on his knives are always big, so you can always use that for deployment. I always enjoyed that about his nicks as well. So let me move on to number 5. Now, of course, there are some awesome ones like the Pagos that deserve honorable mention, but I've decided to go with the Mallory. I really enjoyed this one. It is really new. It just came out. Whew, that's not deploying, right? But my finger's slipping out, that's why. So that's a nice hollow nail nick. You can really get in there and let it go. Its other option is a flipper tab. Now, again, I think they went with the paper micarta, but it just feels better this time. And I like the look of the scales smaller than the frame. It looks really cool. And a titanium pocket clip, of course, non-reversible. Nice jimping there on the flipper, and the blade shape is awesome here. That is a sheep's foot. That you shouldn't be able to really easily pierce. You could, it's close, but I'm calling this a sheep's foot with a nice, I didn't see PVD listed as a coating, but they use PVD quite often. It doesn't really feel like a PVD coating to me, though it may be, so don't quote me here. Some stats. We have 3.5 inches of flat ground sheep's foot. 14C 28N here. I like the blue pivot collar touch that he does on his black knives. It looks really cool. This knife looks great. You could choke up again. He always does a nice big finger choil, and I love that. And it is 8.05 inches top to bottom, and then 3.72 ounces. And, well, folks, there you have it. That is my top 5 Miguron knives. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.